Good morning, church, and happy Sabbath. As most of you are aware, for the past few weeks, several of our church members have been working as our nominating committee, securing nominations of all volunteers that will be serving as church leaders for the next 2 years. Before the church votes on those lists of nominees, it's important that I talk to you about new standards and requirements that the church has regarding all volunteers. These standards and requirements pertain to the safety of our children. The Seventh-day Adventist Church places a high priority on our children and in securing their safety. Because of that, the church manual states that everyone involved in work with children must meet church and legal standards and requirements, such as background checks and certification. Local church leaders should consult with the conference, which will ascertain and advise as to what background checks and certifications are available and/or required. In Policy FB 20, entitled Child Protection and Volunteer Screening, the North American Division further defines how those standards will be required within our division. It says that all volunteers are required to participate in a screening procedure that will include a signed volunteer ministry information form, names of 3 personal references, and a criminal background check wherever possible. Individuals who submit incomplete forms will not be considered for a volunteer position. Background screening should be completed before the volunteer is allowed to serve. All volunteer leaders, regardless of their previous experience, shall submit to the screening procedure provided by the church. The volunteer screening procedure should be updated for each individual every 3 years. Now, I've confirmed, and when it says that all volunteers are to submit to this screening, it means all volunteers. Our churches are family-based ministries, and even if the ministry itself does not specifically pertain to children, minors are most times involved. So it's important that all of our leaders participate in certification and screening to secure children's safety in all of our activities. Now, the division policy does not state what the certifying organization will be, but in documents filed with the Adventist Risk Management, that agency is specified as Shield the Vulnerable. Shield the Vulnerable is an organization that works with churches, both the Seventh-day Adventist Church and other churches and organizations, to help us meet our own standards in regards to the safety of children and in protection of them from abuse by predators. Shield the Vulnerable provides resources that make it an advantage to us to work with them. Shield the Vulnerable makes it more convenient for us. We can submit to training and certification from the convenience of wherever we have an internet connection, whether it's here at church, at home in our own office, or on the road if we've got time to pull over and access the internet through our personal communication devices. So it's convenient for us. It also ensures compliance in that as you log in and do the training, it records whether or not you have been trained and whether you have registered for and passed the screening that is required. Also, it ensures confidentiality because it's not specifically part of our church or local church or even our conference. Not everybody is going to know our business. They won't know the information that we put in. They will only know whether or not we have completed the forms, passed certification, or not. And the only one who will know from our church whether or not we have will be our Shield the Vulnerable coordinator, who will receive reports as to whether or not we have passed or failed screening or certification. Shield the Vulnerable is a wonderful tool for us to use to meet our goals as a denomination and even our goals as a local church as they pertain to children's safety, privacy, and convenience. Some may be a little bit confused by these new requirements, and I invite you to consult with Sister Gia or myself, either by phone or in person, to answer all of your questions. I want to thank you in advance for agreeing to serve the church and assure you that we will do all that we can to make these new requirements as convenient and as painless as possible for you to comply with. Thank you, and happy Sabbath.